Hey everybody and welcome to the bullshit party. And in this one, I guess we don't have an intro card for this one. Oh, no wait, there it is. Perfection. And as I was saying, in this one, we're gonna be putting the current podium vehicle, the S80RR, to a challenge. What is the challenge? Is it gonna be able to complete it? Find out the answer to both in just a couple of seconds. Well, maybe a little bit more. And if you're looking to get more information on the S80RR, I made an in-depth video review of it that I'm gonna post right here. But in general, all you need to know about this is that it's a rear-wheel drive, super fast supercar in the supercar class category in GTA Online. Now try to say that 3 times faster. Anyway, being in the superclass category, it means that the challenge needs to be something speed related. Happily for us, last week's challenge was, well, speed related. So we'll be taking the same route as the last one. First things first, we need to do a full lap in the Los Santos airport. As soon as we're done with that, we exit the airport, we go downtown, go onto the west side highway, go by the beaches, we continue to go south on the highway until we reach the military base. Once here, we need to complete a lap here as well. And upon completion, we pause the timer for a second and mark our final checkpoint, which is the Sandy Shores airfield. And after that, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a race against time to see if I can reach the airfield and do a full lap in it. The timer will stop as soon as we cross the finish line right here at the end of the tarmac. The time limit for this one, just as it was for last week's vehicle, is 10 minutes. But I think I should do this challenge during the daytime, so let's just wait for the sun to come up, or just make a quick edit, whatever. And we're pretty much ready to start the challenge. This is gonna serve as our starting line. Now we just need to mark the military base as our waypoint so we can follow the GPS instructions, and we're ready to start. Will the S80RR be able to complete this in under 10 minutes? I don't know, but let's find out. And now it's probably a good time for me to give you a little bit more context on what the challenges are. They're class-specific challenges designed for each of the podium vehicles on the Lucky Wheel. Once the challenge is started, it cannot be restarted or replayed. For example, in this one, we have the environment to worry about, the traffic, and my own driving. If any of these are the reason for the challenge to fail, then it's a failure. It's a one and done type of deal. And this challenge is very similar to last week's because of several reasons. First of all, I really like this route, and I do believe it offers a good amount of challenge and a good amount of variety in the terrain to test the supercar. Secondly, I've been told that this car is much better than what I gave it credit for. In the review video that I did about it, I said that it's more of a garage queen than anything else. It has good acceleration, but it's very unpredictable in the way that it grips the road. And in my opinion, and by the way I still share this opinion, it doesn't corner very well. But I guess we'll see at the end of this if I change my mind about it. And the third reason I chose the same challenge as last week's is because last week was my first time doing this route. And surprise surprise, people in the comment section seem to have a problem with my driving. So having completed this route once, am I gonna be better at it the second time around? Logic says yes, but as you know, yours truly has a natural talent of messing things up. So let's see. And for those of you who didn't see the video, I'm gonna post it somewhere around here in case you wanna watch it afterwards. Suffice to say, the challenge last week was a failure, with a final time of 10 minutes and 3 seconds. That's right, 3 seconds and I would have completed the challenge successfully. And that's why this one is so interesting for me. On one hand, last week it was my first time doing this route, but I had a car that I really liked and I was really confident in. This time, granted, I know what to expect, but I don't really like the vehicle that I'm in. And that's why making this video was so entertaining for me. And chances are that if it was entertaining for me to make, it's gonna be entertaining for you to watch. One of the main lessons that I learned last time is not to rush anything. So this time we're gonna take more of a Matthew McConaughey approach to this. And so far we're doing good, no major crashes and nothing major really. The only thing that's a little bit worrisome is that it looks like it's gonna rain at some point, and hopefully it's gonna be after the challenge is completed. I'm having a hard enough time as it is controlling this car, and I can't really imagine what it's gonna be like when it's gonna be wet. As you can see, even on the freeway, traffic is a problem, and the more we get into this challenge, the more I feel like it's gonna rain at some point. But it is what it is, c'est la vie, and as I said, this is a one-shot type of deal. And if you have a suggestion for a future challenge, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. In the meantime, I'm gonna continue making my way to an even foggier part of the map. But bullshit, what's foggier than LA? Keep watching. What I remember from last week's challenge is that we were about 5 minutes into the challenge when we reached the military base. So I'd say we're doing pretty good on time. But completing a lap in the military base is easier said than done. See, when I did the challenge the first time around, I had the brilliant idea of going all the way to the other side of the base and use that as a starting point. Looking back on that decision, it was sorta stupid, but since I'm replicating what I did last time, I'm gonna do it again, cause, well, I'm stupid, I guess. And the challenges with the military base don't end there. When we're halfway done with the lap, and by the way we haven't reached the start point yet, we need to do a very tricky U-turn, but more on the U-turn when we get to it. We just crossed the imaginary start line, so now it's just a matter of hauling ass and getting the lap done as soon as possible. And in case I forgot to mention it earlier, please consider giving this video a like, it really does help out the channel a lot. And if you didn't like the video, well then make sure you let me know in the comment section. And you can almost start making out the U-turn that I was talking about. It's gonna be right after the projectors, and it's very tricky because you either ram into the projectors or you ram into the wall. That's why I took my sweet time making that U-turn. And talking about time, it's looking like it's gonna be a tight squeeze this time around as well. We still have a lot of ground to cover, and with my luck, it's gonna start raining as soon as we exit the military base. But that's future Bullsheep's problem. Now I'm just focusing on completing the lap and not smashing into the wall. Which once again, easier said than done considering what kind of brakes we're working with here. And it's time to mark our final waypoint, and of course the timer is paused for this. We're gonna resume the action as soon as we start rolling again. And here we are, back in the race. Now, I have to take some responsibility here. I sort of, a little bit got, lost. Even though I not only was looking at the map the entire time, but I also made it bigger and I still managed to mess things up. The good thing for me is that I don't think this cost more than a couple of seconds. Then again, last week's challenge was literally 3 seconds over the time limit. So let's just hope I didn't stick the final nail in this coffin and plow through. Oops. And this part right here, I gotta say, is probably the most difficult and stressful part of the entire run. It's super tricky to maneuver this road because you have barely any visibility because of the way it's shaped. The fog doesn't help, and also of course it started to rain at this point. So suffice to say, I started to have some flashbacks from the other challenge, where again, at the end of the challenge it started raining and it basically made things a lot more difficult. And even though you probably know the outcome of that one by now, you should go watch it, it's a fun video. But back to this one, we're still not in the clear, not by far. You can't see on the map because of my gorgeous logo on the bottom left of the screen. We have 2 miles left to the airport, which in normal people measurements is about 4 kilometers. And that's without the lap we need to do at the airport. It's true, we have time, but the wet conditions are making this car extremely difficult to drive. And if you think 1 minute and 40 seconds is a lot of time, well, you're forgetting who you're dealing with here. And yes, I refuse to take responsibility for that one, the car just has horrible brakes. I mean, you saw me try to stop. That's gonna hold up in a court of law. And almost as if I know what's gonna happen, I predict another major crash in the next 30 or so seconds. But who knows, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's just watch and see. And if you skipped to this part of the video just to watch me wipe out, I wasn't talking about this. This is what I was talking about. I'm sorry, but people comparing the S80RR to one of the open wheel class cars need to have their heads examined. I firmly stand behind what I said in the review video. Good acceleration, horrible grip, horrible unpredictable traction, and the brakes are just missing. But enough about the car and let's go back to the challenge. Right now, I'm in a very familiar territory. I need to make one more corner and I have 30 seconds left on the clock. I can't believe it, but this one again is gonna be left to the final couple of seconds. And that's the final corner dealt with. So now it's just a matter of racing to the finish line, which once again I'll remind you is the end of the tarmac. But with my luck, I'm expecting to be hit by a lightning strike or the car to just blow up for no reason. And ultimately, I'm very happy to say that we finished the challenge with almost 10 seconds to spare. I have to say, doing the route again, I wasn't expecting this close of a result. So I'll be expecting all the people who were mean to me in the last video to apologize in the comment section down below on this one. And as I'm holding my breath for that one, I think it's time to end the video. Thank you so much to everybody who watched, hopefully you liked what you saw, and if that's the case, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey, I can see my house from here!